How's it going, everybody? Well, again, another little update. Said I was going to give you these updates, I guess, here and there, or write it down, whatever. Couldn't write this down. It's a little more intense than that, I guess you could say. All right. Well, this is for the dome light situation, because, like I said, my car's got dome lights or courtesy lights on the bottom of the dash, and it's got two on the B pillars. Anybody's got one of these, you know. So the situation is the harness, the new harness, only comes with one single wire. Okay, which is, yeah, this one right here, this yellow or white wire. Well, my stuff, it does hook up back here, but obviously my courtesy lights here, my door buttons, all that, I need to get all that, which door buttons are off of ground, as everybody knows. So where the issue is that trying to figure out how it was, because how it all worked and everything, because it was just wasn't making sense to me. A couple of things ain't, like I said, about the door wiring for power doors. If you don't have, this is what you get for power doors. It's only two wires per side. One is for power window, and the other one is for the power lock. You know, two wires for each side. That's a whole nother situation. I ain't even dabbed into that yet too much. But for this one, if you guys are doing this, I'm not out here every day. I got, you know, my regular job and everything and stuff like that. What I did was this one wire, I got the harness just mocked up in there, or the fuse panel, it's just mocked up in there. I made sure I got no wires any hot wires that are going to be grounding out or nothing like that. A lot of the wires don't matter, like all this stuff here, it doesn't matter because it's not even hooked up to any source of power. All my MSD, my fuel injection, none of that has power. So all I did was this one wire right here, which I believe was like number 916 or something like that. That will send power to the fuse panel. Okay, so I just made a jumper to send power to my fuse panel. Right here, I can hook up. Okay, so now I just got power to my fuse panel. And it's only going to be whatever's direct power until I turn the key, obviously, and then it'll give me my ignition power sources. So how I did is doing that. Like I said, here's the wire. Put that up in there because I made that a little bare spot on that. So for testing, this is where the whole conundrum chaos begins. Okay, these white wires, now these are just for the dash lights on the floor, courtesy lights. It does that, and the orange also, the courtesy, well, not the white wire, the orange does your courtesy lights. It'll do your map lights. Here's another map right here. And your cigarette lighter. And this is the console harness right here. Okay. Which that runs on a separate ground itself. Okay. So that, I'm not going to talk about that. That's totally different. So, and here's the other courtesy light. Oops. There's the other courtesy light. Which I forgot to tell you guys, I think last time, this is the kit I got. 10201. I think I forgot to tell you guys that. So the whites are ground, and then you're going to have some black ones too. Those are also ground, which black, okay. Now them black ones are for this one here, and as you see, it's for this one, that ground. Just trying to look around right here for another map like ground. So like this one you see has got orange. This one here has got orange, gray, and black. So black is the ground, orange and gray are positives. Okay. The orange is constant positive, and then the gray here, I believe, would have to go to my headlight switch, because all that's turning on is my map light, both of my map lights. That's it, right? I believe so. Yeah, just the map lights. That's all that turns on. So this way, when the door is open, when the door opens, you're gonna get your power through, or it's gonna ground out because you got constant power on these these courtesy lights, and then it grounds out, turns the lights on, turns these lights on, and then the ones on the B pillar. I don't know if your cars have them or not, okay, but mine has them. So it'll turn those on. The gray will only turn on when you click your headlight switch out one click, it'll turn your map lights on. So you can you can see your paneling, a little darker out or whatever. And then when you click it all the way, you can, the one click, then it's on another circuit, which sends the constant power through, or sends power through again, through that terminal, through a different terminal here. Here's my old harness. And you see I'm using parts of it. I have to for the switches, or for the clips. So it'll send the power through a different source, and then when you click to turn on your dome lights as you're just sitting in the car, there you go. It'll go through another source, and then turn them on. Okay. I hope this isn't getting too confusing here, because I'm kind of a little bit all over here. That's my glove box, and then you got my glove box. That's the glove box button for to trigger it. It's off of ground, which that's another one that runs. As you see, that's got black and orange. Okay, so it does the same as these do. Okay, pretty much, except for it uses black as the ground. Okay, because that black is probably just going through, tying up in here, obviously tying up in here somewhere. So just as long as you got it to a ground, well, you know what? I know why. I know why it does that. It's glove box. Yeah, okay. I know why it does that. Because a glove box is not metal. Or, the pocket is not metal. That's why. There you go. See, this just jumps to ground, over to your light. Here's your constant hot. There's two There's two of them on there. You got another spot right here. That would be where that one wire goes and hooks up to there, because this is plastic, so there's no ground. So I would get the ground from that other wire and send it through, because those are contacted together, and sends it through right here, because this is going to a body ground, and you know the button breaks ground and turns the light off when you close the door. So, like I said, this wire, I just hooked it up just so I could do testings, and that's how I figured this stuff out. And then I don't even need to hook it up right now. And then just make sure you guys disconnect it. You know, just be sure, disconnect it. Always make sure. Make sure you ain't got nothing that's gonna ground out. You know, no wires. That's what I did. I made sure ain't nothing gonna ground out or anything like that. Okay. I hope you guys understood that, because it does get a little confusing with the gray and the black. I'm sorry. No, not the gray and the black. The black and the white are grounds, but the white is only for the door buttons. Okay. Glove box is on black. Even though it's a button, it's on black. So is the console. Console, like I said, it's got its own ground right here. And then right here. Oops, I think it was showing it. Right there, because again, the glove box pocket is not metal. So it's got a jumper wire. So, and I believe, like I said, these go to the headlight switch to be able to, for them to come on one click out. When you're running your parking lights only, it'll turn them on. Just your map lights. And then, as for the wipers, that was another issue. Another thing I wasn't, let's just say, maybe I wasn't understanding, or getting, or just, yeah. Well, our cars are different, I guess. Here's, you got only three wires here. As you know, I mentioned about the yellow one already. And, which is right here. This is the yellow, which goes into the fuse. It gets its power through ignition. Is that the right switch? I don't know if that's not the right switch, is it? That's the headlight switch. No, that's not the right switches. Here we are, right there. The big brown wire is what gives it its ignition power. Okay, and then the wires right here. That's the yellow one. Now I can show you guys that, because as you see here, there's no yellow one. Got no yellow. Okay. Now I would have thought that it would have went to the switch. I'll be honest with you guys. I would have thought that yellow wire would have went to the switch to bring power in, and then, you make your selection on our wipers, and sends that out, which would be a resistant wire, so the wipers only go so fast. That's what I thought, but I guess not. Okay, here's the wires right here. These are going to the wiper. You see there's 4 wires. And there's the yellow one. So the yellow is positive. Now, my thought would have been that putting a constant positive to that, because it's grounded. It's got they have a little, up in here, you see that little copper?
That's a ground. That's a ground. It goes here and grounds to the bolt, which grounds to the body. Okay. Well, it just sends ground up. I would have thought that putting constant power there would make the wipers just go constantly. But I don't know. Maybe I'm still just not understanding that part. But we're gonna see. I'm not gonna cut my wires until I'll just run like a jumper to this and everything, y'all. To these wires, run jumps to them and test it and make sure that the wipers work like they're supposed to before I go cutting and then the wires are too short or something like that. So that being the case, that yellow wire will hook up, it'll hook up to this blue wire. Okay, that's why I had the blue wire inside, because I'm figuring it had to go to the switch. It comes routed to the going into the front section, into the engine section. But I was thinking, I thought it would go to the switch first, but I guess I was wrong. Oh, possibly I'm wrong. So I'll have to reroute it back through. But like I said, before I do that, I can just wing it up here. The old twist tie, whatever. Tie them together just to test it out. And see how that goes. I guess I'm all over the place with this right now. And I'm not, I got to try to remember where I left off at and whatnot. And then, like I said, with this harness, there's only 2 wires per side, one for the locks, one for the windows. Power. I should have tested it to see if it was. Well, it can't be constant. One's got to be constant. The lock's got to be constant, and the window has got to be ignition hot. But you see all this here. I did I was doing some testing on it and jumping whatnot and everything and trying to figure it out, because these were the wires that gave it power. All these here, there's not this one, because this one I don't know what it was hooked up to. Actually, it wasn't even hooked up. That's why I wrote nothing on there. I don't even know. Now this here, well, you know what? Let's get back to that. I'm sorry. This is for, which is a white and black now. This is how it can get confusing. This is a white and black wire. These are the 2 wires for the button, for the buttons. Okay, the black wire just goes down to the button. That's it. It ends there. Then the white wire goes from here and goes down to the button, and it's doubled, and it goes across, and you got one single wire over there. I don't even know, you can barely see it. Right there. Okay, one single white wire. So that obviously means that the black wire, wherever that went, right there, the black wire would have to be the supply ground, if that makes sense, because or a ground from somewhere, which I would say it has. Well, I guess you could use just the white wire, because that's ground. That'll ground out. And then hook up my white wire that I got from that in the back, which I should be able to do that. That's what I should be able to do. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. Might work. Because I'm sure I still have the plug
So I'd be able to hook up the white side of that plug to these ones, to the whites. I don't even need all the whites. I just kept them together because they were, together already. And then hook up the black side. I have to think that through. I have to think that through because then, if that's the case, won't I be losing? I'll be losing ground though. I'll be losing ground when the button's in. Which I'm supposed to lose ground, but I'm not supposed to lose ground. I don't think I could do that. I'm not supposed to lose ground to the black wire. To the white wire, yes. See, it's getting, I had to think it through again. To the black wire, I'm not supposed to lose ground. Or break ground. Let's just call that breaking the ground. Only to the white one, because that's for the door, for the courtesy lights. The black one is for my map lights. Anyways, again, so I started kind of putting, like I said, putting things through where roughly they're going to be. And guys, they give you, they give you a lot of wire. There's a lot of wire. A lot of extra wire. It's nice and it's not nice. Like, it's nice because you can always cut the wire down, yeah. But some of them, like the ignition switch right here is already got the plug pre-made. You got this here, which is your turn signal switch. I just spread them all apart from each other when I was using that power source. Turn signal switch, they're already done. So it's trying to use up all that extra wire somewhere. That's the only thing. So that, like I said, door locks is probably my next test because I think I get the wiper figured out. I got the inside lights all figured out. I do have to branch off of the lights, I believe. There is a wire for it, but I have to branch off of that wire for my dash lights. I have to do it for something. I can't remember what. Oh no, I know what it was. My brights. My bright indicator. I have to tap in for that one. And then my turn signal indicators. Well, my turn signal indicators, I don't have any because of this new gauge. Okay, or the new gauge is like this gauge here doesn't have turn signal indicators. And then neither does the quad gauge. So what I did is I ordered those little alarm button. I was able to find turn signal ones. I've seen turn signal ones, but I didn't want. They were, I don't know. I just wanted to look right where I was going to do. Wouldn't have mattered really. So I ordered those little alarm button or alarm lights, the little ones, that that people put on the dash and it just sits there and flashes. I ordered 2 green ones and 1 blue one. So when I got this here up inside the dash, they're gonna be further back. They're pretty far back up in there. Actually, probably didn't show you, but what I'm gonna do is because I got another one of these, so I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna drill some holes up here, up in here. So let's say 1, 2, 3. 2 greens and then the 1 blue in the middle. So I'll do that. So then this way you can't even see them. But like if I put my turn signal on and it doesn't click off, sometimes you don't cut the wheel enough and it doesn't click off. Well, I'll be able to see it. So I'll be able to have one maybe right around here, a little bit deeper up in there, one here, and then I had the blue one right in the center. Now that was my own fault. I was so focused on making sure you had the odometer, I didn't even pay attention to the turn signals. And I, of course, looked afterwards, and I did find some with the turn signal, but I'm not spending more money on another one. And as for this gauge, guys, these are real nice. I like these. They're super. 3 wires to hook up. You had your lights. What was it? God, it was simple. Positive, negative, and lights. And then it's GPS. Here's the GPS. There's all the stuff for the GPS. I hope I didn't. Okay. Really nice. I like that. This one too. Everything. The quad gauge. Plain. It's real simple. Let's see if I can get that in there for you. You got your oil, your fuel, water, positive and negative. And then your lights are in the 2 big holes. And you wire those, and you tap your lights into your headlight switch. Now that's another thing I gotta do it for. The headlight, for my lights. This one I already had done, but obviously new harness. So I gotta tap in for this light and for these lights. On the first pull, on your parking lights, you want your dash lights to come on, not all the way out, unless that's what you want. I mean, it's your vehicle, but normally it's the first click out is your dash lights will come on too. Go over some of this, I guess, while I can. With this new gauge, I have to change my sending unit, my fuel sending unit. It's a different ohm. This is like a 230 or something like that, a 240 ohm or something like that. So I had to get that. And then this is the Quick 4 by US Shifts. Guys, this thing is awesome. I really, really, really like this thing. I'm really glad I made that decision. And this is the handheld it comes with. The handheld is pretty, it's small. But it's nice. You could put it away. You could take it, and by turning the dial, you can go to settings, and some settings in there you could change things. You could, when you want your lockup to come on, when you want it to turn off, your cruising RPMs. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do right here in hand. With the base program they send you, or whatever you want to call it. You give them what you got, your gear ratio and all that, and then they send you a base one or whatever, and you can make changes to it, your shift points, your shift firmness. Like I said, your lockup, you could turn lockup off. Whatever there's a lot of it you can do. And then if you're gonna want to get more into detail, you hook it up to a laptop. They give you the hookup for the laptop and everything, the cable, to hook it up to your laptop, and then you can get more into depth if you want. I haven't had to do that yet, because I do plan, like I said before, I'm going to be taking that trans out. I got to have it built, and I'm going to be putting a stall speed in there, so I'll be going back into the US Shift, making some changes, I'm sure. That's in due time. And then another thing I had forgot last time, and I apologize, was I was explaining to you about this here, how they break, and this one here, you can see it's broke. This one here, they're broke, and it messes them up. And I showed you guys about how to pull this in a little bit. You could pull it in a little and everything. I was thinking about it. You can actually do this with the car, with the dash in the car, because all you loosen up is all these bottom ones, and they're on the bottom. Break them all loose, take them all loose, push that in, make your marks, drill your holes, whatever. But the other thing I forgot to tell you was about when, after you have the panel in there and in place and everything, I can make new holes. I can drill all new holes in it. So this way it's in its right position. That'll be nice. So that's just some of the stuff I'm wiring. You can see how right now I just got the wiring where roughly it would be, this is just extra. I mean, it's long, like I said. Where it's all going to somewhat go and how it's going to somewhat go. I still got to cover it all and everything. This is going to take a while. So, like I said, I'm with work and everything. I'm not outside out in the garage every day. And then other things going on, I got to do. Well, now, actually, as of today, my work is seasonal, so I get my layoff time. Come on, layoff. Yep, I do kind of look forward to it. Gives me time to do this stuff. A little more time. So I want to be doing, I'll probably be able to get a little more done and then let a few days go and then maybe or whatever and put something up again, a video up again. Whether it's a short one, long one, I don't know. This one's already been 30 minutes. Wow. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps. Like I said, this was a little bit of a fiasco to figure out because there was things that just weren't making sense. And on my part, like I said before, now you see with the white wire, okay, I told you that's ground. Well, when I was doing it before, when it was all in the car, I think this is the one. There's another one, maybe. No, it's this one here. When I was doing it in the car, I thought I remembered getting positive out of this white. So I really haven't taken the time to follow the white to see where it's going and what it's doing. Oh, it's going right there. Probably right there. I cut. Oh, well. Yeah, see? And here's goes into this white. But it's saying that both of those are positive. I don't, they did it different. Painless wire. So that's what I figured out is a lot of it is not going to make sense because you're thinking of your old harness. Oh, this was this and this was that. And it's actually, they did things different, I guess. Let's just say, made it a different way. Ran things a different way, made it, I don't know what the purpose was or reason. So that is something you got to be aware of and you want to watch for. Just to make sure that, everything is right and you're getting power where you need power and negative where you need negative, and I should say ignition when you need ignition. So you guys want to pay attention to that because it was, like I said, it was a little confusing and trying to figure out on why things seemed different and not right. Some of it could have been on me, just me overthinking it. But one thing I did notice too is, after you have all your stuff together, see guys, I was trying to make a list. But like I said, it just was getting confusing. It would have been too much. After you do have all your stuff, they tell you, hook it up and everything. Well, it's like, you're hoping everything you hooked up is right, and then you're hooking this up. So that was like, maybe let's figure this out so I can. But that's probably me again overthinking it, and But just be careful, guys. Double check yourselves just to be sure. I hope this video helps anybody that's got one of these or thinking of doing this to theirs, or even something similar. It's a GM car. They're probably almost all the same. Wiring is pretty much all the same. Just what options you got. I hope this helps. I appreciate you guys looking at the video and sharing and all that, and subscribe. And you guys, again, have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. And you all have a safe New Year if I don't hear from you, or I don't send out a message or talk or whatever by then. All right, so you all take care.